of Premier League football. And some interesting news come out already in the last few hours. Obviously, the big news for Liverpool, at least, is that Alisson Becker is back in goal. That's amazing. That's brilliant to have. Kelleher, those question marks about whether or not he had a good game against Fulham. I thought he made some good saves, but he did have a couple where maybe he should have done a little bit better. And look, he's still the best goalkeeper in the world, Alisson, isn't he? He's still the best goalkeeper in the world. There's absolutely no one else you would want in net. So this is a really big result for Liverpool to get Alisson back in. And in other goalkeeper news, Andre Onana has been dropped from the Manchester United squad this afternoon. He's been dropped. Nobody in his place. Unbelievable. It's Altay Bayindir, I believe, who's coming in. But yeah, just massive goalkeeper news, I guess, today. And that's the really interesting news that we've got. I will run you through the lineup shortly. We are just about 20 minutes to kick off, if you're with me for today. We've got about 20 minutes to kick off. And let's take a quick look at the lineups while we're here. So, lineups for today's game, when my phone decides to play along. We've got in net Alisson Becker. Alisson Becker in goal. At full-back, on the right-hand side, we've got Connor Bradley, which I think is a massive plus, maybe even bigger than Alisson being back in. I'm really excited to see Connor Bradley back in. He's our future, isn't he, Connor Bradley? Trent going, Connor Bradley back in. That's amazing. Connor Bradley starting. Alongside him, Iber Konate and Virgil van Dijk, as you'd expect. And on the left-hand side, Kostas Tsimikas has come in. Kostas Tsimikas over Andy Robertson. Sorry, lost my head then. Over Andy Robertson. Andy Robertson didn't have a great game against Fulham last week. Was certainly probably responsible for at least one of the goals. And, I mean, it's a shame because I think Robertson's been our best player over the last couple of months. He has done really, really well. And his form has picked up, but it was a disappointing game for him last week. So Andy Robertson out, Kostas Tsimikas in, Connor Bradley in, Konate and Van Dijk at the back with Alisson behind them. Midfield is Gravenberch and McAllister. Szoboszlai makes way for Curtis Jones. And then on the left, Luis Diaz starts over Cody Gakpo. Mo Salah obviously is in as normal. And Diogo Jota is starting at centre forward. So it's all pretty much as we'd expect, I guess, when it gets to the forward line. I think Curtis starting in midfield is an interesting one. And obviously Kostas Tsimikas coming in for Andy Robertson. We'll have a chat about that, I'm sure. Rubes, thank you for the GIFTS. I appreciate it. On to West Ham's lineup. Now, West Ham's lineup is, I think there's a few curveballs in there. So Areola in net. Back three of Kilman, Mavropanos and Todibo, with Wan-Bissaka and Ollie Scarles at left back. I mean, Scarles, I think, has been it's kind of a breakout for him, isn't it, at West Ham? I think he's done really well since he's one to keep an eye on, definitely on that left side. The main man, Ryan, who do you support? I'm a Liverpool fan, mate. Liverpool fan, right up there. Big Liverpool fan. Followed him for 30 years, all over the world, been and watched him. And set this channel up recently. So if you want to give us a like, if you want to give us a follow, all that good stuff, it massively helps the channel. I appreciate it. But we've got Ollie Scarles on the left, Wan-Bissaka on the right. As I said, Kilman, Mavropanos and Todibo behind them. Midfield of Ward-Prowse and Soler, which I'm not entirely sure is suits West Ham, I guess. Not entirely sure that one's going to suit West Ham. And then the front three of Kudus, Paqueta and Bowen playing effectively as centre forward. But yeah, no Alvarez for West Ham, which I thought was a big one. No Alvarez, no Rodriguez. I know he's not necessarily favoured as much these days. No Souček. He's the one I always worry about with West Ham. I mean, I love Bowen, I love Kudus, but Souček on set pieces, both defending them and attacking, causes us no end of problems. So Thomas Souček being on the bench, big decision. I think Sofal and Emerson as well at the fullback positions, they seem to do well for West Ham. So I'm surprised that Ollie Scalds is in there and there's no real place for either of them. And yeah, Alvarez tends to do well. On the bench, they've also got Evan Ferguson, and Nicholas Füllkrug, who scored against Bournemouth last time out. For Liverpool on the bench, we've got Szoboszlai, Robertson, Jarrell Kwanzaa, Quivine Kelleher, and Yaros, the two goalkeepers. Gakpo, Endo, Elliott, and Federico Chiesa. Rubes, he's a secret Everton fan. I am not a secret Everton fan. Do not be saying such things, Rubes. Ben, score you thinking? Before all this happened, before the whole Salah and oh my God, Aberdeen are beating Rangers 2-1. I'm so glad I stayed away from that one. Sorry. Before the whole Salah and Van Dijk signing contracts, I genuinely would have said that Liverpool are probably going to drop points in this one. I think I would have said a draw because I think West Ham are a good side. But now I think we win 2-0. No. 3-0. 3-0. I'm going to go for 3-0. I think we've got more than enough to hurt West Ham. And it's just been a confidence thing. I think the team's looked very much out of sorts for some time. And I'm just looking forward to hopefully seeing a proper Liverpool performance, because it feels like a while since we've seen one. Given that we're going to be title winners, given that there's, we've done massively well this season, it still feels like a number of months since I've seen our Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? Like a proper, wow, that's a great performance. We've done really well there. Not had much of that. There's been a lot of just kind of getting by, getting through games, eking through. So, there you go. I'm not going to watch Rangers and Aberdeen. I'm going to switch over to Liverpool because this only goes off in 10 minutes. But yeah, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat what you're thinking, by the way. I'd be interested to hear what everyone seems to think about today's score. It's going to be a really important game for both of these teams. West Ham, I think under Graham Potter, are just finding their feet, aren't they? They're probably looking forward to the summer a little bit to get some more bodies in. For Graham Potter to really start to, I guess, shape the team his way. Do you know what I mean? To really sort of understand exactly what he wants from his team. So it's going to be an interesting game. I think that they'll probably be looking forward to the summer in some senses, but also maybe not in others, in the fact that Bowen, Kudus, maybe Paqueta, maybe several others actually. There's a number of West Ham players who could be targeted by quote unquote bigger clubs. Certainly Kudus. I think Kudus is definitely one to look out for this summer. I'm sure he would do well in a top Champions League side. Obviously he joined West Ham, didn't he, after they won the Conference League? Have I got that right? Sure, he joined them shortly after that. Ben Rama left and Kudus came in. And then they've kind of regressed a little bit since, haven't they? They've not quite kicked on West Ham in the way that you maybe would have hoped they would. So, let me just get all this queued up. Just trying to get all of the tech set up all right ahead of kickoff. We've got 13 minutes to kick off now. For anyone that is interested, there's Mo just warming up. You'll have to let me know, by the way, what you're thinking about this breaking news this afternoon about Manchester United and Andre Onana being dropped. I think that's a massive surprise, isn't it? I mean, In many ways, maybe not because of what happened in midweek in Lyon. But at the same time, the guy's still the number one keeper. He's still 50 million quid. They've not really got many other options. So this seems counterproductive from Ruben Amorim to drop him, to let him know that, listen, I mean, I don't know what's the purpose behind it. Do we think he's saying to him, listen, you need to step your act up? You need to sort yourself out, pull your finger out. We need better from you. Is it a punishment? I don't know what he gains or hopes to gain by dropping a keeper that they're not going to sell this summer. Honestly, I know there's a lot of United fans that would want to, but they aren't going to sell him this summer. They're not going to sell him this summer. They haven't got the money to. United can make a loss on some players, and they will make a loss on some players. The likes of Anthony, the likes of Sancho, the likes of... the likes of Anthony, the likes of Sancho. Obviously, Rashford's going to go to Villa, you would expect, maybe. They're going to have a lot of players who leave on a free. Your Lindelofs, your Eriksen's. Those are going to have to be replaced, by the way, as well. So, players leaving on a free, you still need to bulk the squad out with extra players. So, where's that coming from? There's a lot of money needs to be spent at Manchester United, and I fear there isn't going to be an awful lot of... Well, I don't fear it. There's not going to be an awful lot of money coming in for them to build that up, to justify the expenditure. So, the stadium's falling to bits. They've got to fund a brand new stadium. They've still got to pay out a load of money for players who they've bought and moved on. They still owe money for Anthony and Sancho. And Mason Mount. What's going on with them? The hope that they're going to get rid of Onana and Højlund and get get a big chunk of money back and just move on. The fans are in absolute dreamland. They are in absolute dreamland, I am telling you. It's not going to happen. Mark, he's hoping to stop the ball going in the net. Well, I know, but to be honest, Bayindir's not been brilliant either when he's played. So, and I just think with a goalkeeper, you've got to build the confidence, haven't you? You've got to say to them, you're my number one, we are sticking with you, you are our number one, and that's it, we're going to stick with you. And that's the only way that you get the best out of any goalkeeper. You can't have goalkeepers changing in and out all the time. And once you say to a goalkeeper, that's it, we're taking you out of the firing line, there's not really a way back for him. So unless they get someone to take Onana on loan, I'd be very surprised. He seems to be an ambitious goalkeeper. He's not someone who I think is going to go to Saudi or to the MLS or anything like that. He's not going to go to those places. He will want to play for a top European club. He's played for Ajax in semi-finals. He's played for Inter in Champions League finals. Playing for Manchester United, he came through the Barcelona academy. This guy's not going to Saudi. It's just not going to happen. And when you look around Europe, the teams that do need a big keeper, there's quite a lot of other good young keepers about. Onana's not going to be top of their list. Ben got a 60-1 bet builder on Mo and Bowen to score. Maka 1 foul and shot on target. Bradley 3 tackles, 3 corners. Jesus Christ, Ben. How much have you put on that? Mo and Bowen to score. I don't like putting Ackers on with players to score. Just seems, I don't know. It's too many risks with it. And the same with player cards. I don't like players carded. I'll always do. Like, the ones that I tend to do when I'm putting Ackers on, they tend to be both teams to score, maybe. Shots on target is a good one. Good market to do. Like Liverpool, 1 shot on target first half, 1 shot on target second half. That always pushes your odds up a bit. Goalkeeper saves is another good one. Because it's not player specific. Number of corners is not bad. Just go with what I'm feeling, because when I back out of what I think it comes in. Yeah, I'm saying, mate. I know what you mean. Kane, West Ham are winning. There you go. The Onana agenda has started. No, listen, if anything, Kane, I'm defending Onana. I've just said that I don't think this is a guy who's played at the very highest level. I don't think for a second that he's just going to go, oh yeah, I'm off to Saudi. The fact that he's dropped him is bizarre to me. It's bizarre. It's absolutely bizarre. He's dropped him from the squad. Exactly, Ben. Came through La Masia, played in Champions League semi-finals with Ajax, played in Champions League finals with Inter. He's now at Manchester United, one of the biggest clubs in the world. He's still in his 20s. If you think he's just moved for 50 million quid. If you think for 1 second this guy is just going to, oh yeah, I'll go to Al Nassr for a bit. It's not happening. The guy, he wants to be one of the best, if not the best goalkeeper in the world. He seems like a really ambitious kid. He ain't going to just drop it and go to Saudi, and I think that's going to be the only market for him. So if you're Ruben Amorim and you ain't going to sell him, is it not a good thing he's dropped him to make an example? Mate, maybe. No, it's not. Because if you're dropping him to make an example, then you're selling him. There's no in between. You can't drop the goalkeeper. If he's dropped him from the squad today, do you think there's a future where he brings Onana back in? Because I don't. And if he does, it's only going to make things worse. He's dropped him. He has told the whole squad and the whole fan base today, in doing this, he's telling him, you're not good enough. That was not good enough. Wasn't acceptable. That wasn't acceptable. And it's game over. But in order for him to make that decision, he needs the club's backing. Because the club, they're not just going to... It's maddening to me. It's absolutely infuriating that there's so many United fans think that that's how a football club operates or can operate, that you just keep writing off players. You just keep writing him off. We bought him for 50 million. We still owe money on him. But we'll just sell him for like 15, 20 million. We'll go and get another goalkeeper. One, you've got to find someone to buy him for 15, 20 million. That's going to be task number one. And task number two, with the money that you've written off, that 35 million that you've just set fire to and set into thin air, who are you going buying for 20 million quid? If that. And you know, that's not thinking about the players that you've got to replace, the Lindelofs, the Erikssens, the other players in the squad that are leaving on a free. It just baffles me that so many United fans seem to think that that's the right thing to do. Hey Prem Dad, how you doing, Edward? 42 lad, what's the prediction for the 3 games kicking off? So, my predictions, here we go, let's do that. My predictions for today's games. I think Chelsea 4, Ipswich 0. I think Chelsea wiped the floor with them. Because they weren't great in midweek in the Conference League at Legia Warsaw, Chelsea. But I think they're just starting to build a little bit of confidence and maybe a little bit of rhythm as they go into the home straight. So I think they'll do okay, and I think they'll stuff Ipswich today, maybe 3 or 4-0. Wolves and Tottenham. Again, if it's me, if I'm Ange Postecoglou today, I am not putting out the team that Ange Postecoglou has put out. Actually, I tell a lie. The team that I saw is not the team that he's put out. That's fine. So he's rested. Ange Postecoglou has actually done the right thing. He's dropped Kulusevski. He's dropped Bergvall. He's dropped Bentancur. He's dropped Porro. He's dropped Udogie. He's dropped Van der Ven. All of those players have gone to the bench for today, and he's brought in players like Archie Gray, Ben Davis, Jed Spence is still in there, but Papsar, Bissouma, Maddison, Brennan Johnson, Matthijs Till, and Dominic Solanke up front. I think that's going to be a score draw. I think there might be goals in that game, so I'm going to go 2-2. 2-2, score, 2-2, high scoring game. So that's what I'm going for in that one. And Liverpool, I think this is 2 or 3-0 to Liverpool now. I think there's confidence flowing through the team. Garbage player got suspended for drug doping, and then Ten Hag still goes to spend 50 million on him. wasn't acceptable. He's done it all season. I know, but you've got... There's only so many players United can write off, for me. There's only so many players United can write off, and Onana is one that I don't think they've got a choice. I think there's some players that Ruben Amorim, he's not going to be able to just wipe the slate clean and go and bring in 15, 20 new players. He's going to have to look at least a few of them and go, I don't love you. I don't love you. If I had the money, I'd change you. But I'm going to have to stick with you. And I think Onana's one of them. And I think Højlund's one of them. And I think that especially because they're such big players. Mount is another one. He's not going to just be able to keep writing these players off. It's madness. Ben, Betis Villarreal, what you thinking? Doing my Aka now could be a draw. I've gone Betis or draw in that one. Yep. 42, yeah, but you can spread it over the years. It's not that deep, especially with home talent being sold. Mate, it really is. It really is. Especially when you look at United's accounts already. United's accounts are as bad as it can possibly get. It's bad. It's really bad. FM No Casuals, whenever I see a compilation video of a keeper's mistakes, most are caused by the poor defensive play. Again, thank you. I'm so glad someone else has said that. The guy's got an entire different back 4-5 in front of him pretty much every week. I don't understand how, they'll let players get away with it. The outfield players get away with it. Oh, yeah, he's got a different defensive partner next to him, or he's got a different player in midfield alongside him. Maybe he needs more consistency, but it doesn't get the same treatment with goalkeepers. I'm not goalkeepers union here. I was never a goalkeeper. I think I went in net once and I conceded 7 goals. It was shocking. Worse than Onana. FM, please tell me which of Onana's 100 mistakes because of poor defensive play. There's quite a few. Don't get me wrong. He's not the best goalkeeper. But I kind of don't think he's one that you can just sacrifice at 50 million quid. How they think they're getting 50 million for Rashford. Yeah, that's another one. Clearly the club has backed him like they did with Rashford. Rangers got a 96th minute equaliser. Really? No, we're not making excuses for him. I just think some players are going to have to be given a free pass by Amorim. If Onana isn't one of those, that's fine. That's his decision. He'll live and die by that. But he isn't going to get backed for every single one of those changes he wants to make. Some changes he's going to have to keep some players he doesn't want. That's just the reality of the situation. He's either going to have to, because the club will have given him a modest budget. The club will have said to him, listen, here we go. I'm not even going to talk about this through the minute silence. 97, Hillsborough. Got to mention that during all this. I'm not going to do a minute silence through that, but yeah, just want to make a poignant reminder of Hillsborough and the shit that them families had to go through. Absolutely disgusting. Right, there you go. We're off. I hope that marshmallow guy you got in for Alisson soon is like Onana, then you will read. Listen, 42. We've had bad keepers. We had Karius. I remember Dudek throwing 2 in against Man United. Dudek had one of the worst starts to his Liverpool career going. We stuck by him. He's now a Liverpool legend. He saved us in a Champions League final. Sander Westerveld saved Liverpool numerous times in 2001. Fantastic goalkeeper in his first season. Then he became a liability. I understand that that you need to move players on, but you can't move everyone on. FM No Casuals and still going through. Yeah, very much, yeah. Good point. Absolutely. Still going through. Right. Let me get the scoreboard going. We're off. We are off and underway. talking. To be honest, nobody's going to know what's happening until the end of the transfer window. That's a valid point, yeah. Because there's going to be... This is what the owners will have said to Ruben Amorim. This is the pot of money you've got if you get Champions League football. And this is the pot of money you've got if you don't get Champions League football. 1-0 Wolves already. Goodness me. Ryan Aït-Nouri. 90 seconds in, Ryan Aït-Nouri's just stuck it in for Wolves. Big goal. 42, did United fully sell that Kovar guy to Leverkusen? I don't know, you know. Don't think the back line trusts him either. Maguire cleared a ball when he shouted for it last week. The thing is, Maguire's not going to be part of that United lineup, though, beyond this season. You know, he's only ever going to be a bench player, isn't he? He's never going to be a regular starter for Manchester United. That's another one that hasn't worked out. And it's another one that Man United are going to have to write off the 80 million quid, the book value for him. You know, it wasn't that long ago. They got, what did they get offered? Was it something like 60 million for Maguire and McTominay from West Ham? Wasn't it something like that? I can't remember. Something along them lines, wasn't it? About 60 million for those two combined. That was the deal. That was the deal right there and then. If they'd have took that, United would have done all right. That would have been good financial sense. 42, I wouldn't mind more signings like Dorgu and Heaven, though. Find them gems. Well, time will tell whether they prove to be gems. Dorgu is still finding his feet. I mean, he's done okay, but he's not been terrific. Diaz with the ball in, cleared away, corner to Liverpool, early doors. Yeah, Heaven isn't a bad signing. You know, Obi's not a bad signing. It's them sort of signings that Manchester United have to make to bulk the squad out. Toby Collier from Brighton, you know, he's been a good signing. I think it's them ones that they're going to have to do a lot of. But finding good players that will come in and can immediately start while also ensuring United move up the league, it's not easy. It's really not easy. Ball into the box, cleared away, it's come out to Curtis Jones, he's going to have a shot, he stands it back up. Oh, Mo Salah, back out to Curtis. Offside, unlucky. FM No Casual, goalies are confidence players and sadly they make one or two mistakes, they get scapegoated. Yeah, it's always been the way, hasn't it? It's always been the way. Goalkeeper makes a mistake. I mean, invariably, if a goalkeeper makes a mistake, it costs the team goals and sometimes costs the team games. So it's always more high profile when a goalkeeper makes a mistake. But Rasmus Højlund or, you know, Darwin Núñez quite frequently, you know, he's missed big chances, but it never costs Liverpool. It just stops us winning games. Unlucky. That was good play. Very good play. It was Diaz down the right. Liverpool have started strong here, 4 minutes in. I think Garnacho is sold to Napoli. Again, it's whether or not Garnacho wants to move to Napoli. And if he does want to move to Napoli, are they prepared to pay the money that United want? I mean, something tells me he's not going to go for as much as he would have done maybe 2 years ago. His star has dipped, hasn't it? It's not quite what it was. 42. Who's 3 realistic signings you want for Liverpool? I would love us to go and get... who was the centre-back I was looking at the other day? I'd like Jared Branthwaite or I'd like Murillo. I don't think we will get either of those. I think we're far more likely to go and get players like maybe Hato from Ajax. But I would like us to be looking at Jared Branthwaite and I would like us to be looking at Murillo from Nottingham Forest. Again, how realistic those are. I think because they're already playing in a Premier League club, they're probably already priced out for Liverpool. Luis Diaz down the left-hand side. We've got a chance here. Diaz cuts in. Shot. Good save. First shot in anger there from Liverpool. Again, there's a number of keepers who've made mistakes. Like we often have a little bit of a blind spot with goalkeepers in thinking that they don't. Like, Alisson has made quite a lot of mistakes for Liverpool, even mistakes this season. He's still the best goalkeeper in the world, but he's had a consistent back four in front of him. I remember countless mistakes Peter Schmeichel made, because I used to always see him and think. I mean, it was when I was much younger, much more red-tinted glasses than I am now. I used to think, he's crap him, he's not that good. He was exceptional. David Seaman made lots of mistakes, great goalkeeper. Diaz with the ball in, over the bar. Yeah, goalkeepers make lots of mistakes, and it's a really unforgiving position. And I don't really care whether United stick with Onana or not. They'll live or die by that decision. That's fine. I do think he falls into the bracket, though, of being a goalkeeper that could go somewhere else and actually be a very, very capable goalkeeper. This isn't a bad goalkeeper. You don't play at that level by being a bad goalkeeper. It's as FM No Casual said, I have to agree. I think goalkeepers are confidence players. They need consistency, both in team selection, in manager, in set up. Some managers want their keepers to come out and claim things. Some managers want their keepers to punch. Some others want their keeper to stay on the line and let the defenders do the work. There's an awful lot of stuff that goes in behind the scenes, and the change from Ten Hag to Amorim seems to have exacerbated some things. But I had United fans legitimately telling me earlier this season. In fact, Kane, even yourself not that long ago, before this week, you were telling me that Andre Onana is not a bad goalkeeper. He's not a bad goalkeeper. There was United fans telling me he's one of the best in the league this season. One of the best in the league this season. So, forgive me, there's a little bit of hypocrisy, I think, in United fans. Would love United to sign Hutchinson. It's them sort of players, isn't it? Amari Hutchinson, Liam Delap, relegated teams. United are going to have to relegate. Going to have to look at, even if they do qualify for the Champions League. Ball played in. Oh, unlucky. Would you take any players from the teams going down? I would, but maybe the only ones I would be looking at is the likes of Delap and. Maybe Diblin. I like Diblin, but I wouldn't pay the money they want for him. So Delap and Diblin would be the two I'd like at Liverpool. It's nothing to do with the back line. Majority of the mistakes have been individual errors. Ball in from Tsimikas. He's offside. Yeah. No, listen, I'm not excusing the guy. I'm not saying he doesn't make individual errors. I'm not saying that at all. I just don't think for a second that United can keep affording to write players off, and some fans maybe have a little bit of delusions that that's just something the club can do. It's not viable. It isn't viable when the club still owe money on players they've signed for big money, decided aren't good enough, have moved on to other clubs for big losses already, but they still owe money on the original transfer fee. You cannot run a club like that. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. The expectation that they're going to go out and just write him off. It's fine, just write him off. Go and get another goalkeeper. You are out of your mind. I'm a big fan of Onana. I love him, but when you play for Man United, you can't make them mistakes. When you play for a side who are 13th or 14th in the league, you absolutely can. You absolutely can. He's playing in a side that's not quite as good as maybe the club and the badges. Well, it definitively isn't as good as the club and the badges. It's not very good at the moment for United. They're an absolute car crash on and off the pitch. Things might be improving, but we'll only know that after the summer and maybe this time next season to see where they are and whether Amorim is still in a job. Because you'd be a brave man, based on the form of Ratcliffe and Ineos so far, and the buying history of Manchester United with players, you would be a brave man to say that Ruben Amorim will still be in a job come Christmas time. That's not me saying he won't be, by the way. I'm just saying you wouldn't back it. You would be foolish to back that. El Kanouche, yeah, good shout, Kane. Actually, yeah, good shout that. Kane, El Kanouche, a very, very good player. Good young player. I think probably more suited to your likes of maybe a Brentford or a Palace or someone like that. Kind of lower level. Everton could go for him. I think he would actually be a good player for Everton. Onana is a good keeper, but he needs to sort his mistakes out. It's basic goalkeeping. He's staying for 10 plus years. I think you'd be surprised, mate. As I say, I think you'd be surprised. He's a great keeper. Was great in Holland and Italy. I think he's just a little bit misunderstood at this moment in time, but whatever. Like I say, whether he stays or not, I couldn't really give a monkey's. It's up to Ruben Amorim what he decides to do with him. But yeah, like I said, the very idea that people keep just thinking United are going to buy and sell and write players off and just set fire to money. No club can run like that. No club. Except maybe Manchester City. I think Mavididi is a Prem player, not top half yet, but I think he should be in the Prem next year. How old is Mavididi? Because I was going to say, I think there's a lot to like about him when I've watched him, but he's 26. Yeah, he's 26. He's not... Yeah, I think if he was 21, 22, there's a little bit... Oh, the referee's just been absolutely done by Paqueta there. Yeah, I think if he was 21, 22, you'd probably look at Mavididi and say, yeah, maybe put him in the El Kanouche, the Diblin, the Delap bracket, because there's a lot to like about him, and he could do well in a better club, better surroundings, better players. Not at 26. 26, he's going back down with Leicester, and he'll probably be a player who, you know, dominates the Championship next year, and you think, oh yeah, he'll come back up, he'll be really good in. Like Tarabt. Tarabt was a lot like that, wasn't he? Diaz, ball in, Jota comes out, it's it! Bradley! Oh! Connor Bradley. He is the best right back in the world. Is Núñez misunderstood as well? Yes, Núñez is misunderstood. And I've been very, very consistent with that. I have been very consistent with that. Núñez is exceptionally misunderstood. And I also think he falls into the bracket of will go somewhere else and kick on and be a very good striker. If we sold him to Atletico Madrid this summer, Darwin Núñez would do bits next season. I am telling you. McAllister with the ball in. Cleared away. It's all Liverpool. First 15 minutes is all Liverpool. We've got West Ham backed in. They haven't got out their half yet. It's a really, really strong start from Liverpool. It's just now whether or not we can make it count. Jones with the shot. Good save by the keeper. Kane, I agree with you. Can't sell everyone in one summer. Benny is a Prem player as opposed to the Championship. Yeah, but he would only be... I think if a club took a chance on Mavididi, it would be almost like a Wolves. Do you know what I mean? Like a Wolves or an Everton or something like that. I mean, Everton probably are a team that he would look at and he, you know, would like him. They need bodies as well this summer, and they need pace, and he's got that. So yeah, I mean, Christ, the more I think about it, that's exactly who Everton should be signing, Steffi Mavididi. Yeah, that's a good shout. Because he's better than Jack Harrison, isn't he? Miles better than Jack Harrison. Personally, I wouldn't sell Onana, and I'd give him 1 year. Yeah, I think United have got two options with him. They've either got to give him another year, in which case dropping him today made no sense at all, or they do what I think they're going to do, and I think they are going to do it. I think the fans have already decided, and maybe Amarim's already decided, we're not doing that. I think they're going to have to put him out to pasture, almost put him out on loan with another club. Bit like what they've done with Anthony. Put him out on loan, maybe with an option to buy or an obligation to buy. Get him a club on loan. But I expect they will find that the clubs they send him out to, I don't think there's not going to be a big queue for Andre Onana this summer, is there? Let's be straight. There's not going to be a big queue for him. There's not going to be a number of clubs interested in paying his wages, so Man United are still going to be paying him while he's out on loan. And United probably would only want to sell him with an obligation to buy. Just on the outside chance that he goes and is dreadful. Oh, Salah. That's unbelievable. Mo Salah. Oh, Mo. Oh, that was disgusting. That was absolutely disgusting. Mo Salah. Brilliant there. Unbelievable. Unbelievable from Mo Salah. He ran rings around Oliver Scarles, sorry. Cuts inside. If he'd have scored that, different gravy. West Ham are just messing about with it here at the back. They've sent it long. They keep giving it away to us. Every time they've got the ball deep, I mean, Graham Potter's going to be losing his mind when this happens, because I know we keep coming back to the age-old debate of you can't keep passing it around at the back if you've not got the players to do it. And Mavropanos and Todibo, Kilman maybe is. Kilman's got that. Salah again. He's just skinned him. He's absolutely skinned him. Diaz at the back stick. Must be 1-0. What a goal. It's Mo Salah. It's Luis Diaz. It's 1-0 Liverpool. And that is that. The title's coming home. There you go, Luis Diaz. It's all Mo Salah again. The guy signs his contract and he's still producing his best stuff. Unbelievable that. That was all Mo Salah. That was all Mo Salah. The spin. It was Alisson with the ball out to Canate. Canate sends it long. Salah's onside. No problem with that. Oh, that's beautiful. It's beautiful. And he's onside. There's no problem there at all. Diaz, wonderful. Outside of the foot from... It's so nonchalant, isn't it? It's so just casual. Just glides it across. That is one of the hardest skills in football, outside of the boot, to bend it around so it's close enough to draw the keeper out, but beat the onrushing defender and still make it to the back stick. Oh, what a player he is. What a player. Unbelievable. Chelsea 0, Ipswich 1. Chelsea 0, Ipswich 1. Goodness me. FM No Casuals, we aren't playing Ferguson to try and lower his value. That's it. Again, this is the other thing. You send players out on loan, there's a risk with that, because often what you don't want is to have a player out on loan not playing. They have to go to somewhere where they're guaranteed of minutes. And what club is going to give Onana minutes? And actually, what club is going to take a goalkeeper on loan and start them as their regular goalkeeper next season? No club in Europe. It's going to be a club that's kind of like bottom half of La Liga, bottom half of the Premier League, maybe bottom half of Serie A. He's going to be going to like a Genoa or a Cagliari or maybe a Villarreal, someone like that. It's not going to be someone absolutely a top quality club. And do you think Onana's going to agree to go? His CV reads Barcelona, Ajax, Inter Milan, Manchester United. Do you think he's going to go to friggin' Genoa? Or Freiburg? Behave yourself. Behave yourself. 42. Ten Hag should be paying his wages. Ben, stop telling him when there's a goal. Wait for his TV to catch up. Listen here, if I see it, I see it. Thankfully, I didn't that time. 42. Chelsea all over Ipswich. Moyes deserve better. Luis Diaz overrated. Attacks games Burley. I've not even put the goal on. Why has no one told me? I've not put the goal on. What minute are we on? Oh, guys, you've let me down here. I need to put the thingy on, the graphic on. What's the graphic here? I didn't update the goal. There you go, Liverpool 1-0. I need to get better at using the new scoreboard. West Ham are in here. Whoa, and there you go. That's why you got the best keeper in the world. Oh my God, Mohamed Kudus. What a player he is. Sign him up. Sign him up. Mohamed Kudus, you can come to Liverpool for that. It's still 1-0, by the way. It's still 1-0 to Liverpool, but Mohamed Kudus has just done something outrageous. He had no business. He's just hit the bar. He's just hit the bar for West Ham. It was a good ball by West Ham down the right-hand side. It gets played through. I think it's Bowen who's running onto it. It might be Paqueta running one-on-one with Alisson. Alisson comes out, makes a good save, as we'd expect him to. Best keeper in the world. Ball rolls out to Kudus. Alisson's off his line. And there's a Liverpool defender on the line. Kudus chips the pair of him. And it's dipping under the bar. It just clips the bar and saves Liverpool. But that would have been an unbelievable goal from Mohamed Kudus. It'd have been an unbelievable goal. Oh, thank God for that. Copenhagen 1, Bromby 1. Just in case anyone else is watching the European games like I am as well. I've got the goals popping up as they go in. Salzburg 1, Sturm Graz 0. Who scored for Ipswich? Julio Enciso. Another player who's on loan at Ipswich. I would imagine they'll send him out on loan again next season. Brighton. My God, Saudi want Casemiro and Onana and are going to offer 20 million each player. See, that's a test, isn't it? That's a real test. 40 million quid for them too is bad. Again, it's a big drop in the book value. Was that a save from Alisson? I think it was, you know. I think Alisson saved that. Let's watch it again. Here we go. The shot from Kudus is different class. Oh, it's a touch. Alisson gets a touch on that. That's going in. Another world. That's why. Listen, people talk about Quaveen Kelleher and all that. It's fine, right? Quaveen Kelleher didn't play well against Fulham last week. And there's a lot of Liverpool. Oh, Salah, Jesus Christ. He's done it again. This guy's sensational. What a ball to the far post. Oh, unlucky. Really unlucky that. He's on fire today, Mo Salah. This is going to be 2 or 3. He's wiping the floor with Oliver Scarlett. He's giving him a lesson. He's giving him an absolute lesson. You do not dive in on Mo Salah. This is why he's the best right winger. He's maybe the best player in the world. I don't care what anyone says. Best player in the world. He's breaking records. And he's signed with Liverpool for another 2 years. That's why we're going to win the lot next season. We're going to win the lot. How many assists is Salah on now? I don't know. Let me have a look. I believe he is on 19. He's on 19, isn't he? So that's 46 goals and assists, which means he only needs like another 2 to break the all-time record. I think he's already broke the record now with that assist. I'm sure he's broke the record for goals and assists in a 38 season. Is that right? Goals and assists in a 38 game season. I think he has already broke that record. He might be equivalent. I'm not sure. But he only needs another 2, I think, to break Andy Cole and Alan Shearer's record, which has been held for 30 plus years, which is the record for goals and assists in a 44 game Premier League season, which is what it used to be. If you're not old enough to remember, there used to be 44 games in a season, not 38. Gravenberch with the shot. Curtis brings it down. FM no casuals, it's 3-0. I'm not that bad. I'm still learning, but I'm not that bad. Reece, Chelsea and Spurs losing. What a weekend this is. Mate, you've dropped... What do you mean, what a weekend? You drop points at home to Brentford. You're about to lose the league title and you're going to get knocked out of Europe in midweek. And you're saying, what a weekend. Enjoy it while you can, Reese. Because we'll be saying, vamos, Hala Madrid in midweek. Kane, I mean, Casemiro, I understand. He's at the end now. You would save wages, but I'd rather loan or keep on. I mean, again, there was I was listening to... Don't judge me. But I was listening to a certain Manchester United podcast the other day when I was driving. I was taking my little girl to nursery. Anyway, I was driving her and I was listening to the podcast because she had whatever she was listening to, The Wiggles or Sprunky or whatever on YouTube. And I was listening to this United podcast and they were adamant that Casemiro's been... He's had a renaissance for Manchester United. This was after the Lyon game as well. He's had a renaissance for Manchester United. He started playing really well. He's been one of United's better players this season. So maybe all isn't lost for Casemiro. Ben Gravenberch playing well today. Well, it's about time. It is about time. Gravenberch hasn't looked himself for months. Maybe since January. Yeah. It's a good 2 or 3 months. That was a really good touch and turn. He did just catch Paqueta in the face there. Onana is 29 as well. I mean, goalkeepers have a long shelf life, don't they? Goalkeepers tend to play well until they're maybe mid-30s, so he's got 5 or 6 years. Ben, 45 goal involvements, beating Thierry Henry's 44. Yeah. But he only scores penalties, exactly. And honestly, the expected assists. This is the thing. Thierry Henry had much better players playing with him, I would argue, than this Liverpool team. To have Pires running in and Bergkamp finishing alongside you. You know, Salah for the most part has been dealing with Darwin Núñez and Luis Diaz and half-fit Cody Gakpo, and even Jota's not been at it this season. Oh, that's a wonderful ball by Van Dijk. Diaz is in, plays it across the face. It's come back out. We've got a chance here if we get it right. Diaz must be. Oh, unlucky, cleared away. Yeah, he's a West Ham fan, Ben. I kind of feel bad. I'm being a lot kinder to West Ham because he's a good lad. FM no casuals, we like him. Look, I love Casemiro, but I think if you're going to cash in, this summer's the time. I mean, you're not getting anything after that. Isn't his contract up next summer? He's only got 1 more year, hasn't he, after this one? Apparently, Harry Amas is confirmed starting. Yes, I saw that as well. I saw that. Edward, fun fact, when we win the league, Slot will be the first and only Dutchman to win the league title ever. That's true. I don't think there's ever been any other Dutchman regularly managing in the Premier League, has there? I mean, I remember Gus Hiddink had a good spell at Chelsea. Did he win the FA Cup as an interim manager? Obviously, Louis van Gaal at Man United did have a half decent spell. De Boer was one of the worst managers ever, wasn't he, at Crystal Palace? I can't remember too many Dutch managers. Martin Jol at Spurs, he had a good, and at Fulham as well. I'm trying to think of Dutch managers we've had in the Prem. Can anyone else name me some Dutch managers that I've missed? Louis van Gaal, Martin Jol. Who else did we say? De Boer. Gus Hiddink. Who am I missing? Dutch Premier League managers. Oh, that's good play. Really good play. Wan-Bissaka's brilliant. Oh, Ronald Koeman. Yeah, Koeman at Southampton and at Everton as well. Am I on any Serie A games? Oh, God, yeah, and Ten Hag. Jesus Christ. How do we forget about Eric Ten Hag? Oh, 2-0 Ipswich. Ruud Gullit. I've had a shocker. How did I forget Ruud Gullit? Chelsea and Newcastle United. Yeah, De Boer. We said De Boer, one of the worst managers ever. When you say are you on any Serie A games, do you mean am I doing any watch-alongs of them or have I bet on them? Because if you're talking about have I bet on them, I have got Napoli or draw against Empoli, and I have got on another acca, I've got Roma or draw against Lazio tonight. Well, draw no bet, but I'm not watching any of them. I think I did put Fiorentina as well, but Parma's always a funny one. Parma are a really good side, you know. You've got to watch Parma. They've had some decent results recently. They drew with Inter, beat Bologna, I think not that long ago, and they've got that. What's the guy up front? Is it Boni? Johan Boni. Very, very talented young striker. So they've got some players. Parma. The media's made this into a big thing about Onana. I wonder if Amorim is resting players for midweek. Yeah, I mean that would be the political statement thing to do, wouldn't it? When Amorim comes out to give his pre-match conference, we'll have to keep an eye out for that. Actually, keep an eye out for it and let me know what it said, because I'm probably not going to see it doing the live. But let's see what Amorim says, because I think if he's smart, he could get him back in if he says, Andre woke up this morning, he just had a bit of a bug. And we decided it would be better to leave him back in Manchester. If he says that, then that's fine. We probably know that that's not the case, and maybe he's taking him out the firing line. Wonderful ball, Alisson Becker. What a keeper. Ipswich 2-0, you said. Sorry, we did need to look at that. And I said 3 or 4-0 Chelsea. What am I on? It was Ben Johnson, funnily enough, ex-West Ham. Ben Johnson scoring for Ipswich. Enciso. Do you know what? Ben Johnson created the first goal for Julio Enciso, and then Julio Enciso has just created a goal for Ben Johnson. And you can get silly money for that with the bookies if you ever do a bet. One player to assist another, and then that player to assist the other player. If you pick 2 players, you get ridiculous odds. Can't remember what bookie it is that does it. Mickey Stringer, Van Nistelrooy. Oh, he's a bad manager, isn't he? Very bad manager. 42. Mascara at the wheel. That triggers me, that mascara at the wheel. My missus ruined one of my last cars by putting a mascara and a makeup on at the wheel. Remember, we were selling the car and I looked up and there was just makeup all like in the roof. I was like, what the hell's that? She's like, I was putting my mascara on in the car. Women! Ben thought Chelsea Ipswich would be 1-1. I really thought Chelsea had battered them. Ipswich are down. But, I mean, look, again, if they can get a win at Stamford Bridge and they can get a win at Spurs and, you know, they can go to Fulham and get a point. Where does that leave Ipswich? 12 points behind West Ham. Maybe you're in trouble, FM No Casuals. Maybe there's an outside chance. Nah, 12 points, they're not getting that back. They'd have to go on a massive run. Samuel Ale, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you for the follow. Makes a massive difference. We've got a lot of people in the chat today. Well, not a lot of people, but you know what I mean. More than we've had in the last couple of days. Chelsea losing, this is crazy. Their fixtures aren't too kind as well. Well, do we still think Chelsea can make Champions League? Because that would take them down to... They'd be in 6th. Because obviously Villa winning yesterday, City winning, Forest getting beat, Chelsea are now into 6th. If Newcastle win, I tell you what, if Fulham win, they are 2 points behind Chelsea. It's Fulham's Monday Night Football, isn't it? Who's Fulham got tomorrow? Bournemouth. Oh, I'm looking forward to that Monday Night Football. That is now battle for Europe. Bournemouth against Fulham. That is going to be huge. Because if one of them wins, they're back in it. They are back in it. Fulham could genuinely be on for Champions League football if they were to win tomorrow night at Bournemouth. Bournemouth have felt a bit recently. 42, no Champions League again. FM No Casuals, we deserve to go down. Oh, don't say that. I like West Ham. I quite like West Ham. I've got a bit of a soft spot for West Ham after you won that Conference League. And I don't mind Green Street Hooligans. Quite like that film. It's like my guilty pleasure, even though it's a horrendous film. I quite liked it. You on that for tomorrow night? Yes, mate, I am. Yeah, I'm live for that one. To be honest, I'm live now every night. I'm live Monday for Bournemouth against Fulham, and then Tuesday night we're live for Aston Villa PSG. Wednesday night we're live for... Who's live on Wednesday night? Who did I say? Wednesday night. Wednesday night's obviously Arsenal, Real Madrid. Or Real Madrid, Arsenal rather, at the Bernabeu. And then on to Thursday's games. Massive. Wolves are 2-0 up. Wolves are battering Spurs. They're 2-0 up. I can't believe it. On Thursday, I think there's an early kickoff, isn't there, on Thursday? Is there? Conference League? Yeah. So, Thursday, should we do Fiorentina? I don't imagine it'll get a lot of views, but I'm going to watch it anyway, so I might do that. Oh, he's not getting a penalty for that. Yeah, so I might do an early game on Thursday night. There's only 2 games on Thursday night. Fiorentina Celje. Oh, why has my clock gone off again? 36 minutes. Come on. Sort yourself out, Kieran. Having an absolute disgrace tonight. Yeah, so Thursday night, 5:45 kickoff. I'm probably going to do Fiorentina. Fiorentina against Celje, or maybe Jagiellonia against Betis. Jagiellonia are 2-0 down against Betis, so that tie's done. Fiorentina are 2-1 up against Celje, coming back into the second leg at Florence. And it'll be good to see players like obviously David De Gea, Moise Kean. Who else is there at Fiorentina these days that people might recognise? Zaniolo, who was at Villa for a spell, wasn't he? Salah's done him inside out here. Conor Bradley drills it across. It's it. Pablo Mari as well, ex-Arsenal, isn't he? Ex-Arsenal, Pablo Mari. So we'll do Fiorentina. We'll do Fiorentina on Thursday night, early kickoff, and then Manchester United against Lyon is the late one on Thursday. So the only night that I'm not streaming this week is Friday. Newcastle 2 games. Sorry, Edward, what LFC players from current squad do you see becoming managers? Maybe Robertson. Maybe Van Dijk, actually. Oh, they're in. Oh, what a save. Alisson Becker's just saved Liverpool again. Kudus he's offside. That was unbelievable from Alisson Becker. I think it was a little bit fortunate. He is offside. He's comfortably offside. But the save is different class. Newcastle 2 games in hand over Chelsea currently as well. Yep, Newcastle are in a strong position there. Onana's gone. David Ornstein just said his agent is looking for a new club. Ooh, wow. Well, hey, listen, I hope, but I hope for his sake, Ruben Amorim has got the backing of the club to make that decision. Because if he hasn't, I think he might find himself short of a top goalkeeper next season. And next season, when Manchester United are having to put up with a goalkeeper who's still just as inadequate, you don't get top goalkeepers don't grow on trees. So, you're going to be shopping in the bargain bin for a goalkeeper next season if you get rid of Onana. Really good defending by Conor Bradley. I said it earlier, and I'm just going to say it again. He's the best right back in the world. Real Madrid have got the wrong right back. They've played the wrong player. Oh, here we go. Liverpool are flying forward here. Diogo Jota plays it out to Salah. Get at him, Mo. You've got him there. Play it back stick. Jota. Ah, you silly boy. Take a touch. 42. Hornstein. Get Onana sold, King. Ben Twist. Saint Etienne 2. Brest 3. 39 minutes in. It's 3-2. That was one I stayed away from because I did just think Saint Etienne have been alright recently, but Brest they've always got an outside chance, haven't they? I'm a little bit unsure with Will still recently. I'm going to be watching Auxerre against Lyon tonight, though. That's going to be a big one. It was Jed Spence with the own goal. Proxo Enciso is balling, mate. He is. He's flying, isn't he? Scored one and created the other. Although I guess you could also say that about Ben Johnson today. Scored one, created the other. Both playing very well for Ipswich. Kane, Sir Jim said they back Ruben completely when it comes to the team. It's his decision. And he's going to say that, though, isn't he, Kane? He's going to say that. He has to say that. There's some things that Jim Ratcliffe said in that interview that have been provably, verifiably false after it. My mate just said if Forest have a good window, they will win the league. They might not be playing Champions League football next season. Forest, if they play like they did yesterday, Forest aren't qualifying for the Champions League. They were awful. Awful. And I don't want to do Everton down either, by the way, because I thought Everton were terrific. That was a really good away performance by Everton. Ben, I'm on Brest. Well done you, mate. Your brave decision to go with Brest today. 42, do you think Palmer could be persuaded away from Chelsea if they fail to get champ? I don't think it's about whether or not he could be persuaded. I think he probably could. You're not going to persuade Chelsea to sell. He's their star asset. And, they paid 40 million for him. You're not going to get him for less than 100. And who's going to pay 100 million for Cole Palmer? I'm not sure that there's a market for Cole Palmer at the moment. Edward, I swear Will Still is the person who played footy manager and got the job in France. Manchester United believe they can give Ruben Amorim 200 million this summer. They might be able to give him 200 million. They might be able to. If they move some things around, they might be able to get. But 200 million ain't going to get you far. If you're buying players 40 million a pop, or even 30 million a pop, Kudus again. He's running us ragged there, Kudus. He's doing it all on his own, isn't he? Kudus, he's so good. He is such a good player. He reminds me so much of Sadio Mane. That he's got that low centre of gravity. Always looks like he's kind of stumbling and falling over. He's just so good. Again, one that I wouldn't mind at Liverpool for the right price. Yeah, I think United could give Amorim some money, don't get me wrong, but when you start writing off players that are already in the squad, then that budget has to go up, doesn't it? It'll be interesting. It'll be really, really interesting. As I say, I've got loads of things planned for over the summer, regular lives, talking about transfers and all that stuff. When there's no games on, we will do these lives over the summer and we'll be talking about transfers and prospective transfers, who the clubs should sign, who you want them to sign, whether or not X player could move to Y. So we'll do all that, but it'll be interesting come the end of the summer to see whether United have spent that much. Jota's in down the left-hand side here if he gets it right. Back to Diaz. Offside. Silly. 42. I would bring him to United for 100 million quid. I bet you would. If United can find £100 million down the back of the sofa, I don't think they're spending it on Cole Palmer for what it's worth. But he's a very good player. Yeah, again, I would love him at Liverpool, but he isn't coming to Liverpool. Ben, West Ham need a big summer. Well, I mean, FM No Casuals is probably best placed to answer this as the resident West Ham fan in the chat, and maybe I'm not privy to this, but I would say West Ham's ambitions for next season should be top half, and the only way they get top half is maybe, depending on what the club are able to spend in the summer, they're maybe going to have to sell Kudus. They're going to have to sell. Probably not a Bowen. I think Bowen stays at West Ham for life now, doesn't he? He probably stays and they build a statue of him. But Kudus could go. They probably need 3 or 4 players. Good signings, again, to be competing in that top half. To get kind of where Bournemouth and Fulham and Brighton are. That's where West Ham should be. And they have got some really talented players, even beyond Kudus and Bowen. They've got... Paqueta's not really realised his potential since the whole betting thing. He's been miles off it. I think Ollie Scarles, despite getting... He has been put through the ringer today by Mo Salah, which is no shame. But Ollie Scarles is a very talented young player. Wan-Bissaka, I think one of the best right-backs in the league this season. So there's a lot to like about West Ham, but you're right. I think they do need a... Oh, big opportunity there. Was that Kilman? No, Mavropanos off the corner. West Ham have had chances in this game, by the way. West Ham have had chances in this game. Kane, I'm excited for this window to see who is sold and brought in. Yeah, there might be some surprises. You might be surprised. Ben need 2 West Ham corners and Mo and Bowen to score for 3. Oh, you're basically there then, aren't you? 42, Salah ain't scoring unless they get PGMOL to give him a pen. Oh, he's a United fan, Ben. He's a United fan, Pep. We don't mind him, though. He's all right. There you go. Half-time. Liverpool 1, West Ham 0. Full value for the scoreline at the minute. Liverpool, big start to the game. Big performance. Mo Salah's playing really well. Kane, it's come out on Onana. Amorim wants him to rest his head after a hard week. And his wife was robbed a few weeks ago. Oh, okay. So they're playing on the whole mental health. He's not quite in the right frame of mind, and that's accepted it. That's why his performance was like that, because he's had a lot going on. Now, I'm not saying that's not true, by the way. That might well be exactly the case, and it's the right thing to take him out of the firing line if he's having a rough time personally. But he's been poor this season before all that, hasn't he? So there might be just a slither of doubt in Amorim's mind. I guess we won't know until the summer. We won't know whether that means Onana's gonna stay, but the way that he's framed that is that it's only a temporary thing, and Onana will be back in the lineup midweek against Lyon. I'm telling you, that's interesting. That's really interesting. Edward, something tells me we will keep Chiesa. Yeah, we might do actually. Yeah, we might do. Again, it wouldn't surprise me. I think he needs more minutes, doesn't he? He needs more game time, but why not? Ben, a mere formality, this bet builder event. Grew, who? It come out weeks ago, Amorim wants a new keeper, now his agent's looking for a club for him. I'm really not sure what's going to happen with the whole Andre Onana thing. I know, again, Ornstein saying what he said is a bit of a red flag, but let me see how my other bets are getting on. Let's see how we're getting on today. Copenhagen 1, Bromby 1. That's fine. Salzburg 1, Sturm Graz 1. Oh, Alkmaar. AZ Alkmaar. They're having a shocking season in the Eredivisie. Heracles Almelo are beating Alkmaar. Grew, it's okay now, pal, man, new keeper. Yeah, that's what we was on about. We were chatting before about him. Feels like we've chatted an awful lot about Manchester United on a Liverpool-West Ham game, to be honest, hasn't it? It's been a pretty, I wouldn't even say an eventful game. Liverpool scoring was entirely down to a piece of genius from Mo Salah. Brilliant down the right-hand side. Sucked Ollie Scarles in and then just dropped the shoulder and let the ball go through. He was clear, he's away. And then a wonderful ball outside of his foot, right in that corridor of uncertainty between goalkeeper and defender. Neither of them got anywhere near it, and Luis Diaz was at the back stick to tap it home. 1-0 Liverpool. West Ham have had the chances, by the way. If you've not watched the first half, West Ham have had the chances. Mohamed Kudus has pretty much ran Liverpool ragged on his own up there. Couple of chances were, one of which he was offside on, but the other he lobbed Alisson and the ball was going in. I think Alisson just gets a tip onto the bar. Really good opportunity for Kudus, and he's had another one where he's hit it just wide. So yeah, I think West Ham have caused Liverpool problems. Mavropanos had a header from a corner just bang on half time, actually, a free header from a corner that on a different day he scores that and West Ham go in level. So you can't write West Ham off yet. You know, you cannot write West Ham off yet at all. Diptatos, hi. What do you think about Amorim? I am changing my mind on him every passing week, because I said when Amorim came in was it January, December? I can't remember when it was he came in, but I remember saying at the time, and I think there's a video of me saying it, to be honest, somewhere in the channel's history, if you go back far enough, that I think this is going to be the guy who sorts United out if he's given the resources and the time by both the club and the fan base. If the fan base stay patient, if the club give him what he needs, he'll do well with United. He'll turn them around, because I think he's a good manager. However, some of the decisions that I think he's making, again, I'm a Liverpool fan. I've not really got an axe to grind. I hope the people who watch me regularly will know I'm very honest about when I'm being bitter and red-tinted glasses and all that sort of thing. And there's some players I'll admit I don't like just because of that. But with United, I think I'd like to think I've got a bit of balance. And I think that he has made a number of mistakes with the players and how he's handling them. I don't think, that whole spell where he was playing Mainu at centre forward and he was dropping Xerxes and Hoyland and not playing him, and then he's had spells where he's playing. He's been whinging about having a left wing back. He needed a left wing back. He buys a left wing back and plays him at right wing back. It's just some baffling decisions. There's things that he's done and things that he's said that just don't sit right with me as like this guy's got his stuff together. I actually thought when he came in he would be more of a custodian, I guess, more of a statesman, maybe a lot more diplomatic in his interviews and how he approached things. Kind of like how Klopp was when he came to Liverpool, because he had a lot of, and still does have a lot of charisma, doesn't he? Or at least he did have at Sporting. It feels like United have eroded that somewhat. His charisma's kind of worn down a little bit. He looks a bit dishevelled. He looks a bit of a bum at times on the sideline. But at Sporting, Ruben Amorim didn't look like that at all, did he? He looked like a clean-cut, kind of quite sharp, very smooth, had it all together. And, he's made some mistakes. I don't think the fatal errors in any way, shape or form. I think he can recover from them and he can be a good Man United manager who wins things. But I think he's probably made some errors in terms of how he's tried to get in and suss players out and suss things out. I don't think he's necessarily the answer anymore. And as I said earlier on, I think there is a world where Amorim probably isn't Manchester United manager at Christmas time this year. And I think, by the way, that could also extend to Mikel Arteta. I don't know why. I think Arsenal fans are getting very, very impatient. And if they were to go out of the Champions League against either Real Madrid or PSG, if they were to go out, they were to win nothing again this season, they've got to do a guard of honour to Liverpool. If they don't start this summer right and they don't get the right players in, and next season doesn't start well for Arsenal, I think Mikel Arteta's one that could be gone around Christmas time. Keep an eye out for that one. Diptatos, I think United should be sold Onana should be sold this time. Yeah, it's quite a few. We've talked about that quite a bit this chat. FM No Casuals, we're still talking about Man United again. We talk about everyone, to be honest. Just respond to what people... I give the people what they want, mate. If people put in the chat about United, people put in the chat about Brighton, people put in the chat about anyone, I'll have a chat about anything. Kane, you never know what's going on though. Media spins everything. That's true. Yeah, very true. Valid point. Fulkrug to come on and head it in from a corner. If that goal from the corner against Bournemouth last week was insane, wasn't it? Underrated player, Fulkrug. I'm surprised he hasn't been given more of a chance. I would have thought he would have been one that... But again, I know Potter likes a more mobile striker and Fulkrug probably isn't that, but if you're a centre-forward and you was playing in a Champions League final not that long ago and you end up sat on a bench behind a winger playing in your position. It's not much down for you at the club. He's going in the summer, isn't he? Samuel Ayo, Chelsea. Yeah, Chelsea are all over the place. Oh, no. Copenhagen, Brøndby are just about to get a penalty in the 92nd minute. Oh, it's bad. It's really bad. Brøndby are about to win the big Danish derby. The big Danish derby. I've been to both of them grounds as well. In fact, that was one of the shirts that I wish I'd have got. I really wish I'd have got that. Either a Copenhagen or a Brøndby shirt. Never got one when I was there. FM No Casuals, he didn't start because he played well last week, mate. Who, Bowen? I don't know, I just think as a centre-forward you would have expected to start at centre-forward when you've not got any other centre-forwards fit, really. You know, Antonio's out. I don't know if Ings is on the bench. Right, I'm gonna have to make some quick changes to the old bets here, because pretty much all bets are down if Copenhagen have dropped me in it. I can't believe Copenhagen have lost last minute to Brøndby. Absolute shocker there. Yeah. Oh, and Sturm Graz are beating Salzburg now as well. It's all falling to bits. It's all falling to bits. Just when I thought it was safe. Oh, I've had a day. I've had an absolute day. Full Krug, he played too well, so he's benched. Potter logic. All right, have you got an issue with Potter already then? Do you not think that he's the right guy for you? Sean, DB Cup, come on, Ipswich. Ipswich are playing really well. I mean, 2-0 up against Xavier Gonna Touch You. My other account, this Xavier, I would strongly suggest changing that. Kane, I'm not judging Amorim until he gets his players. Here we go, here's Rangers' last minute equaliser. That seems a little bit silly, Kane, I would say. Not judging Amorim until he gets his players. A manager's job is to manage the players that he's got as best as he possibly can. You can't wait until a manager gets 11 players, otherwise you'd never judge any manager. You know, the reality is he's got a squad of players that were assembled for a very, very expensive amount of money. They're not all terrible. Onana is a better keeper than he's showing. There's a number of players there who are better than they're showing. Mason Mount probably being another one. You know, Rasmus Højlund at times before Amorim came in has looked better than he has. So I think it's fair to say that Amorim hasn't got the best out of a number of players that he's already got. And if you're not getting the best out of the players you've got, if you're the guy who signs the cheques upstairs, do you sign £200 million to give this guy more players? Maybe they've not got a choice. I don't know. But if you give a manager, any manager, a group of players to work with, I'm sure one of the questions in Amorim's interview would have been, out that group of players that we've got there, that group of players that, you know, Erik ten Hag has, what do you think you could get out of them? Do you think you could get more out of them? I mean, obviously you'll want to make some changes, but do you think you could get more out of them? What do you think? That would have 100% been one of the questions Amorim was asked. What do you think his answer would have been? I'm sure it would have been yes, and in which case, he hasn't got any more out of them than Ten Hag has. Some might argue he's got less. You have to manage Fulkrug though. He's injured all the time. He has had a couple of big injuries, hasn't he? Same with Potter. They knew what they had to begin with. Yeah, you've always been sceptical. Well, we've had a big start in the Premier League. 2-0 Ipswich, 2-0 Wolves, and Liverpool a goal up here against West Ham. But West Ham have had chances, so I'm not going to say that West Ham couldn't come back here. They could. There's always opportunities for them in this game, and Liverpool are not a team that have been particularly clinical or lethal for the last couple of months. Kane, you've at least got to give him 1 to 2 summers, in my opinion. Oh, I agree. By the way, I agree with that. You've got to give managers time for the sort of strategy and you know, whatever to take effect. But I'm sure when Amorim came in, part of the plan wasn't that he said to the owners, the guys who interviewed him, when he talked to them, I'm sure he didn't say, I can do really good things at this club, but only if you give me 11 players at least of my own, and I need to change pretty much the entire squad over a 2-year period to get them back up to the top end of the Premier League. Because I think pretty much every manager could do that, or at least every manager would expect that. If you give me all the money in the world and you're prepared to write off losses as a club, massive losses, on players that you've paid big money for, then fine, yeah, maybe he could have done. But I just think there's part of the equation, part of the criteria for any club when they're looking for a new manager, and especially when Amorim was in that interview, would have been, we've got a bunch of players at this club, and we're about to sack our manager, Erik ten Hag. We've got a bunch of players, and we don't think he's getting enough out of them. We think there's more we can get from these players. Do you think you can get more from these players? And I can only conclude, given that he got the job, Amorim must have answered, yeah, of course I can. I can get more. He's a better player than he's showing. He's definitely better than that. I mean, I won't know for sure until I get in and train with them and see whether he can fit into my system, but there's a number of players there who I think I can get a tune out of. And the club will have gone, great, love that. Let's get you in. We'll give you some money to improve it, but you're going to get better from the players we've got, right? I don't think he's done that. FM No Casuals never understood why we sold Johnson. I thought that was a bizarre one as well, yeah. I thought that was a bizarre move, because he was quite a good young player for West Ham, wasn't he? Essexheim reckon there's a comeback. There might well be a comeback. I don't think there is for Spurs or Chelsea, mind. Maybe Chelsea. But I think West Ham could yet. Oh, that's a foul. That's a foul on the edge of the area. Shimikas, good play. And it was Tadibo who's dived in. I think he's been one who's been he's not been the signing that West Ham needed, has he? He's been a pretty poor signing. I think this might have been a dive, you know. No, he did clip him, just. Edward, Kieran, we're always lethal. It's why the women love us Reds. Dip Tartos, I'm sorry, mate, if you're not really understand my comments. I'm Indonesian, by the way. No, I do. I understand them. That's no problem, Dip Tartos. Thank you for being in the chat, mate. Good to have an Indonesian in. I'd quite like to go to Indonesia. Lovely country. Kane, no, he said, I don't want to come until the summer as the players don't suit my system. No, I know, and they convinced him to come sooner, but I'm sure that wasn't a prerequisite for him getting a whole new group of players. He still would have said, look, if I can come in the summer, I can still get better. It's more of a PR exercise, isn't it, almost? Oh, McAllister's just hit the bar from a free kick from the edge of the area. 42, apparently United are looking at Cherky. I think there's a number of clubs looking at Cherky. Very talented player. Kean, Ipswich Town are winning cheap. Winning cheap. Here's Mo Salah. Great ball in. What a player that guy is. He's so good. So good. Oh, well. Betting's not for everyone. Chelsea 2-1. Ipswich, they've come out and immediately dragged a goal back. Mark Cucurella. It's Chelsea 1, Ipswich 2 in that game. Kostas Tsimikas with the corner for Liverpool. Flick on. Cleared away. Yeah, Chelsea have just got a goal back there. Mark Cucurella. He's a player who's flying under the radar. There's a lot of shouts. I did a team of the year earlier this season. Some might remember a month or so ago. I did a team of the season, and there was a number of Chelsea fans who popped up in the chat who were enraged, would be maybe an understatement, that I hadn't even given any consideration to Mark Cucurella as one of the best left-backs in the league this season. I was talking about your Kirkezes, your Anthony Robinsons, players like that who I think have been really good, even Miles Lewis-Skelly, who I think's done well at Arsenal. And there was a number of players we talked about. Diaz, wonderful play by Diaz. Final ball. That's always the way with Luis Diaz, isn't it? Looks brilliant, skins a player, drops a shoulder, gets in behind, flaps it at the last minute. But yeah, Chelsea fans were furious that I didn't include Mark Cucurella in my team of the season shouts, and he scored again today. He's kind of going through a bit of a purple patch, isn't he? Ben, 48 minutes in, still no shot on target for Fiorentina. Told you, that was going to be a tough one today, that for Fiorentina and Parma. Very talented player, Johan Bonny. Oh, I tell a lie, it wasn't Mark Cucurella. It's been chalked up to a Axel Tuanzebe own goal. So it's Ipswich Town still winning, but winning 2-1 at Stamford Bridge. Axel Tuanzebe with an own goal. So Ipswich have scored all of the goals at Stamford Bridge today. Luis Diaz is... I'm surprised actually that he's getting quite a bit of the ball up against Wan-Bissaka, because Wan-Bissaka usually shuts down pretty much any winger he's up against. He's a very, very good right back. Not so good going the other way, but a very, very good right back. That wasn't a foul. Curtis Jones has just got the better of Todibo there. Ref gives a foul. He let West Ham off the hook there, I think. Definitely let West Ham off the hook. Just why I've got you as well, I don't know if you've not already followed. Could you please go and give us a like? Go and go to... I don't know where you're watching this. If you go into YouTube, you can give us a subscribe. You can follow me. I'm going to be live this afternoon for Newcastle and Manchester United. I'm going to be live tomorrow night for Bournemouth and Fulham. Live on Tuesday for Aston Villa against PSG. Live Wednesday for Real Madrid against Arsenal. Live Thursday for Fiorentina against Celje, and then against Manchester United v Lyon. So yeah, we've got loads and loads of games, loads of live watch-alongs coming up. If you like to be a part of our community, if you want to join, if you want to get involved in the chat, let me know in the comments what you're thinking about not just the games that are going on, but this Premier League season. What do you think about who's gonna make those European places up? You know, there's an awful lot still to decide in these last few weeks. I think the relegation battle's all pretty much sewn up, and so's the league title. But we've still got a lot to decide in terms of the Champions League places, the Europa League places, the Conference League, the FA Cup, and the Champions League, of course, as well. You know, do Arsenal make it through? If Arsenal make it through, do you think they beat PSG? Lots to talk about. Big Nazi, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Oh, Jota, you've got to be stronger there. You've got to be stronger there, Jota. Too casual, that. Oh, they're in. Wonderful play by West Ham. Wonderful play. Thankfully, it was offside, but that was a really, really good piece of play. But far too casual from Diogo Jota. I'm sorry, that wasn't good enough in terms of application. 42, Jota is garbage, so overhyped. He's not garbage, mate. He's a very, very good striker. I mean, Liverpool fans will tell you, I certainly feel this way, that Jota's our best centre-forward and has been for some years. He's very underrated. The problem with Jota is he's just been injured far too much. Every time he gets a run of games, he's been injured. He's such a good finisher. And I think, or at least I suspect, I could be wrong, but I think that Jota and Núñez have already been told that they're leaving the club this summer, and they should start preparing for that. They should start, selling the house, selling the property, whatever they've got, start preparing to move away. inform their agents to start looking for other clubs, all that sort of stuff. It's a long process. It doesn't happen very quick, and I think Darwin Núñez and Diogo Jota already know that the manager's planning to sell them this summer, and the same probably could be said for Luis Diaz. But Luis Diaz's form hasn't quite dropped. Jota's has. Jota's not looked the same. Probably since January, actually. McAllister with the ball in. It's cleared away. West Ham winning the corners, winning the aerial battle. Jones. Wow! It was McAllister, actually, not Jones. McAllister with the cross-come shot. He cuts across it. I think he might have even been playing for that, because he gets a load of spin on it and it's dipping under the crossbar. Areola tips it over the bar. And it's another corner to Liverpool. It's Alexis McAllister who's going to whip it in. Has he got a little top knot going on, Alexis McAllister? A little man bun going on there? No. Ball in. Oh, unlucky. West Ham winning the first ball again and the second ball. That's where we've got to be a bit better. West Ham seem to be picking up the second balls a lot better than Liverpool. That's wonderful from Paquetá. Just tried a bit too much there. Good play. Van Dijk off to Salah. Back inside to Van Dijk. They're playing 1-2s here. Oh, Virgil. Pick your head up. Pick your head up. If we had any other goals going in elsewhere, let's keep an eye out. Brøndby have won. Sturm Graz are about to win. It's been a bad day. A very, very bad day for betting. If you do any accumulators, today has not been the day. Real Madrid are about to kick off away to Alaves, which means I guess they'll get a little bit less rest than Arsenal, but they'll have a point to prove. It's the first game since the whole kick-off against Arsenal, the whole, I'm sure they've been battered through the media in Spain over the last week or so. So this is the first opportunity Real Madrid will have to set the world right, I guess. Oh. That's on ball. That's on ball. That shouldn't have been a penalty, that. Who is it? James Ward-Prowse is like that. He's like that and it touches his arm. It's an handball. Checked and cleared. No handball. Madness. Madness. I don't understand how that's not a handball. No idea. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for sharing the live as well, by the way. If you can share the live, that always makes a big, big difference. Let's get a few more people in here. Let's get a few more people in here ahead of the Newcastle-Manchester United game. If you can like the live, share the live, all that good stuff. Kane Strand Larsen's a good player. He's only on loan. Might be an option for someone else to dive in and take him. I think he's had a good season, you're right. Is it Celta Vigo he's at? Strand Larsen. Thanks for sharing the live, Edward. Appreciate it, mate. He's resting for Europa League based off the lineup. Yeah, I was going to say, we talked about that just before the kick-off. You can see he's dropped a few players. Your Bergvals and Porro's been dropped. Van der Ven's been dropped. Doggy's been dropped. Kulusevski's been dropped. So, yeah, I actually think that's the right idea from Ange Postecoglou. I was a little bit surprised that he didn't do that against Chelsea as well. He started really strong at Stamford Bridge, didn't he? And maybe he kind of looked at that one as, I can't afford not to. Because if he'd have lost against Chelsea and lost against Wolves, it just puts more pressure on him ahead of the second one. The second leg against Eintracht Frankfurt. Amas, Eriksson, Lindelof, all in. Ooh, well, again, that's resting for the Europa League, isn't it? Oh, sorry, you were on about United, weren't you, Kane? Thought you were on about Spurs. Yeah, I think he is. I mean, we've looked at Amas coming in. I think that's going to be a big decision. Ball into the box, cleared away. This game's just kind of petering out a little bit. I think Liverpool need to be killing this off and getting the second goal urgently. Right, Andy Robertson's coming on. Cody Gakpo's coming on. So Kostas Tsimikas is coming off. And Diogo Jota is coming off. So he's going to go with a false nine, effectively. I never enjoy Cody Gakpo and Luis Diaz on the same pitch. It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me. 42, Tell goal. Tell is quality. Well, he started to play well, hasn't he, for Spurs? I mean, it's interesting to see whether or not he puts him in the lineup against Eintracht Frankfurt. Kane, we will lose today, but to be honest, doesn't matter when there's nothing to play for. That's right. Yeah, it's fair. Reece, 45 goals and assists for Salah in a season is insane. Well, he's beat Thierry Henry's record now. Reece beat Thierry Henry's record. He's now chasing down the record that is held by Alan Shearer and Andy Cole, who I think they got 48, was it? 48. And they did it it might be 46 actually. I think they did 46, but they did it in a 44 game season. That Tell goal was lucky, hit a Wolves player's back. Hey, them's the breaks. You take what you can get. Edward, do you think Mo will beat Alan Shearer's record of Prem's all-time scorer? Well, I mean, what's he on now? I think he's on close to... Here we go. All-time top scorers. Right. So, all-time top scorers, Salah is on 184 and Alan Shearer is on 260. I don't think he's going to do 80 goals in the next season, but he might do maybe 50. He might do 50. Like, he's got 27 goals already this season in the Prem. Bowen. Oh, Paquetá's just skied it. Oh, it was Soler, actually. It was Soler who skied it. Just over the bar. Big chance for West Ham there. Yeah, he's on 184 now. He's on the same number of goals as Sergio Aguero. He's 3 behind Andy Cole. And he's 24 behind Wayne Rooney. Which, if you consider how long Wayne Rooney played, and Alan Shearer played in the Prem, he's 24 behind Rooney, and he's 29 behind Harry Kane. I think there's a very real possibility that by the end of next season, he could be second in the list. He could be second in the list. By the end of next season, you know, let's say he gets another 3, maybe, between now and the end of this Premier League season. That's doable, isn't it? Maybe he gets 5. But if he gets another 3 or another 4, then he's in the top 4. And if next season he does maybe 25 again, he's second. He's second. He's ahead of Harry Kane. And then he's got a big task, you know, 47 behind Alan Shearer then. And I think he would have to sign another contract to do that. So maybe if he stays for 2 years and he gets close to Alan Shearer, he then might look at it and go, oh, do you know what? I'll sign another 2 years and he'll stay, and maybe he could then overtake him. Reece, you have to give it to him. What a player. Fabulous player. He signed for 2 years He's signed for 2 years. But them 2 years, as I say, he's 24 behind Wayne Rooney. And you'd have to imagine that he will do 24 between now and the end of next season. Surely, we're not. You would agree that he'll do more than 24 in the league between now and next season. The guy's got 27 now with 6 games left. What's Fowler on? Fowler is on 163. Fowler was 12 goals behind Thierry Henry. But when you consider that Robbie Fowler 3-1, Wolves 3, Spurs 1, and it's that man again that we talked about, Kane, Jorgen Strand Larsen. Yeah, Robbie Fowler was 12 goals behind Thierry Henry, but Fowler was broken as a player from about 24, 25. If Fowler hadn't done his knee, he'd be top of that list. Firmly believe it. I find it hilarious that Chelsea sold Salah and De Bruyne because they thought they weren't good enough. But this is again the point, isn't it? It's a classic example of players who you can see they've got quality, they've done it before, but maybe they just don't quite fit in with either the manager or the playing style or whatever. Maybe they need confidence, maybe they need a run of games. There's all these different things, all these different factors. And Chelsea let them go, and they go on to be 2 of the best players ever to play in the Premier League. That will never, ever not be funny, and it'll never, ever not grate on Chelsea fans as well, by the way. They hate that. Every time you mention that they sold Salah and De Bruyne, and do you know who they replaced them with as well? I know who they replaced Salah with. They replaced Salah with Juan Cuadrado. And let me see if I can remember who it was that they had. They sold Kevin De Bruyne, didn't they? When did they have Kevin De Bruyne? What season did they sell him? 2014. No, he went out before then, didn't he? He went to Werder Bremen and then Wolfsburg. No, he came back for 13-14, so they sold him in 2014. Right, so Chelsea. Right, so Chelsea sold Kevin De Bruyne in 2014-15. They went De Bruyne out. And they brought in the same season. I think it's the season before, isn't it? Oh, West Ham very nearly there, blimey. I'm missing out here. Yeah, Salah went and Chelsea signed maybe Andre Schürrle. Yeah, Andre Schürrle. They sold Salah and Cuadrado. Sorry, sold Salah, got Cuadrado. Sold De Bruyne, got Andre Schürrle in. Edward, where's Cunha been today? Nowhere, because he's not that good. No, he's just been dropped, mate. He's very, very good. He's just been dropped. Kane, too far. Hazard is closer to Garnacho. He's not. Garnacho's horrendous. Hazard, the player who left Chelsea for Real Madrid and went on holiday. Yeah, it was. It was 2012 that he went to Werder Bremen. They sent him out on loan to Werder Bremen, and then he came back for a season, didn't really play all that much, and then they sold him again to Wolfsburg. So he went out on loan for a year, came back, and then was sold at the end of that season to Wolfsburg. So, yeah. Conor Bradley off for Kwanzaa. Curtis Jones off for Szoboszlai. Still Liverpool 1, West Ham 0. Disappointing. Really, really disappointing that Liverpool haven't closed this out yet. It's a ball in, West Ham corner. Oh, and it's another corner. No, goal kick. Thank God for that. The only winger that is on a par with Salah is 2008 Ronaldo. In the Premier League, yeah, I would agree with that. Absolutely. Reece, and then he absolutely cooked in Wolfsburg. Yeah, he was different class in Wolfsburg, and then obviously came to City and never looked back. Bale as well. Yeah, of course, Bale. Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, I think Bale was equal to Salah. Cody Gakpo, that's a foul, surely. No, good play, unlucky. Ben, we are struggling a little bit. West Ham have just opened the game up a little bit here. Ben, we really need a big summer because next season we're proper challengers. We could struggle. I'm not entirely sure that we've not had proper challenges this season. I just think that we've been the better team, and you can't do anything other than beat the teams that are in front of you. Next summer, will it be harder? Next season, will it be harder? I don't know. I guess this is Slot's first season, so you would imagine that this is the worst that Liverpool are going to be under Arne Slot. He's still... This is his Ruben Amorim period. He's come into a squad of players he doesn't know. He's trying to get to grips with, trying to understand, trying to get them to slightly change system. And he's not had the luxury of binning players off who he doesn't like. He's kind of been left with a group of players that admittedly were still doing very good things last season. But also he's replacing one of the greatest managers the Premier League has ever seen. Bale played left back for Spurs. Can't call Bale overrated. That's that. But I think Bale's criminally underrated, if anything. Genuinely, I think Bale is underrated. I thought he was terrific. Lucky. West Ham again. It's straight across the face of goal. West Ham have had an absolute shocker here because they should be 1-1. They should be 1-1. It's actually a really good save from Alisson. Kudus again causing us no end of problems. A really good save by Alisson Becker. Liverpool again. I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm gonna keep saying it. We are limping over the line, and I've no problem with it. I've no problem with us winning a Premier League and just kind of eking out results. It's not vintage Liverpool. It's not a great Liverpool performance. It's a fabulous Mo Salah moment has got us the goal that's probably going to win the game. And then we've defended. I mean, I don't even think we've defended all that well. Here's Luis Diaz. Sorry, it's not Luis Diaz. He's not on the pitch. Cody Gakpo. Chance. Oh, all the way through. Jarrell Kwanzaa rescues it on the other side. We've not key. It's undoubtedly been a poor Premier League season for sure. I don't know how you can say it's been a poor Premier League season. I can't agree that it's been a poor Premier League season. No chance. What do you define? I mean, for me, a poor Premier League season is when you've got 2 or 3 teams picking up 80, 90 points. That's not a good Premier League season. A good Premier League season is where anyone can beat anyone. And we've seen a little bit of that this season. You've got Fulham, Bournemouth, Brighton floating around the top 6. You've got Forest in the top 6. You've got Newcastle in the top 6. Chelsea looking about to drop out of it. Manchester United and Spurs in the bottom half. Now, you could say that those clubs have got issues, and they have. But I think every team... Look at Crystal Palace. Mate, Crystal Palace are about to make an FA Cup final, maybe. Aston Villa as well, Champions League. Look at what they're doing. I think there are so many good teams in the league this season, and Liverpool are the best of the lot. I just don't see how anyone could say this is a bad Premier League season. It's madness. People are looking at there not being maybe a title race to the very last day and lazily saying that's a rubbish Premier League season. I can't agree. I can't agree. They've seen 3 promoted teams come up and 3 promoted teams go down, and they've seen Liverpool waltz to a Premier League title. But if someone had told you before the season started that a team other than Manchester City is going to win the Premier League, you'd have said that was a good season for English football. If you'd have said that a team from outside the top 6 will finish inside the top, at least one actually, maybe 2, maybe 3. If you'd have said a team from in the bottom half will finish in the top 4, incredible season. And if you'd have said that the team that won the FA Cup, Manchester United, would be 13th or 14th, you'd have said that's interesting, that's a really appealing season to watch. Spurs into the last however many in the Europa League. Chelsea going good in the Europa Conference League. Aston Villa, going deep. Arsenal going deep in the Champions League in the quarterfinals. Whether or not they make it beyond that, who knows? But it just doesn't stack up to me how anyone could say that it's been a bad Premier League season. It's been the most entertaining Premier League season in many a year. Chelsea need a goal and they bring on Mr. Freedom Fighter Jadon Sandwich. My college teacher, Adam Mitchell, got done in by Bale. Done in? What do you mean by done in? It's good to see smaller clubs doing well, but it's been a poor year for quality. We're going to be Prem champions. We aren't even that good. My statement's based on quality. Okay. Yeah, I get what you're saying. McAllister with the ball into the box from the corner, cleared away by West Ham. Skimmed by Bale. Yeah, again, that's no shame in that, is there, to be fair? No shame in that. Oh, Paquetá's done well there. Then Sunderland let go of him. That's probably a more embarrassing one, isn't it? Sunderland have let him go. The goal against Sunderland where he wrapped it top corner. The one at White Hart Lane, I remember that one. Yeah, where he cuts inside and smashes it top corner. I think if that's the one we're talking about, or was it at the Stadium of Light? A little bit of frustration around Anfield creeping in. West Ham have got a lot of the ball. It was Adam Mitchell trying to tackle him. All right, okay. There you go. West Ham are making some changes here to try and change the game. I mean, I've got to say, I think West Ham have played quite well in the last 5-10 minutes, and Liverpool look shell-shocked, really. They're getting into some good positions. Ben, West Ham equalise here. It wouldn't be surprising, would it? It really wouldn't be surprising. Look at that. We've just parted like the Red Sea there. Kudus in. Honestly, that was so bad. That was, I think, and again, this is maybe, I'm not seeking it as an opportunity to defend Onana or anything, but I think a lot of our defensive problems start in midfield. Corner to West Ham, Wan-Bissaka getting forward there. Yeah, I think a lot of our problems start in midfield. I really do. I think our problems start in midfield because that right there then, McAllister and Gravenberch just went like that. They followed the other players and then all of a sudden, Soler was running clean through right at Virgil van Dijk and Konate, and they had other players to go with. I think they had Bowen and Kudus to peel off. So Soler was all of a sudden potentially running straight through to Alisson. It happens all the time. And I think we miss a sitting midfielder. We miss a Caicedo, who obviously we went big for, we didn't get. We're missing someone like that. We're missing someone like that. Someone who can just sit in there. Daisy Llewellyn, show the game, you'll get more views. I can't show the game, mate, unfortunately. That's a very, very quick way to get banned. You might get some more views temporarily, but it's a very, very quick way to get banned. So, yeah, I'm not going to be doing that. Edward, did my YouTube comment come through? It did, mate. Yes, I do think we get better. Fiorentina still 0-0, 14 minutes left. Honestly, you should just stick to draw no bet. Stick to double chance. It's the only way you're going to make money. You're never ever going to win if you do outrights. I mean, I guess it depends how big your hackers are, but... West Ham free kick. Last 10 minutes here. Last 10 minutes. Oh, Luis Diaz is still on. Oh, he came on for Jota, didn't he, Gakpo? Don't know why I thought Diaz was off. Liverpool penned pretty much quite deep into our own half here. We're not getting out. West Ham have got an option to hurt us here. Ball into the box. Good ball. Just a bit too long. Bit too long. Mibsan, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Chelsea 2-2. Jadon Sancho. Oh, who was it who said? The freedom fighter. Jadon Sandwich. And he scored. 42. He scored. He scored. Oh, Chelsea 2. Ipswich 2. 42's absolutely spoke that one into existence, haven't you, mate? You have absolutely spoke that into existence. Jadon Sancho scoring. Oh, goodness me. I'm serious. Jadon Sancho's just scored. Oh, goodness, mate. You've had an absolute nightmare there. Hopefully they buy him now. Paquetá, just a bit too heavy. It's gone through to Alisson. We're into the last 10 minutes now. 42, I'll take the 25 million. It worked. Oh, Liverpool are just giving it away. Just giving it away. We really, really need. We really, really need somebody to just put the foot on the ball. Like this is. I kind of feel like we're missing Curtis Jones a little bit. It's mad. I feel like we're missing Curtis Jones since he's gone off. This is the exact sort of game where we need a Curtis Jones. We need someone to just put the foot on the ball and keep hold of it. His ball retention's the best in the league. Just calm it down. Every time we win it back, 2-3 passes, we give it away. This is what I would expect. In answer to your question, by the way, Edward, this is exactly what I would expect to see from Slot next season. A midfielder to come in, maybe two midfielders to come in, actually. Van Dijk just absolutely studied Robertson in the chest. Well, in the jaw, actually. But I would fully expect to see two midfielders come in. Maybe someone in the shape of Wataru Endo. I really like Endo, but he's not. He doesn't get the games. Arne Slot doesn't seem to like him for whatever reason. But yeah, Endo. We need someone like Endo, a destroyer, and we need someone who can pass a ball in midfield. We need someone like. Obviously Zubamendi was one who we were looking at. That isn't going to work out. Thank God. We haven't got any hills like Sociedad's mountains, so whatever. But we need someone like that. We need someone who can put the foot on the ball and pick a pass. Ben, I've got Wolves, Brest and Racing Santander. Some United fan just tried telling me Garnacho gets in over Barnes. Yeah, I mean, that's probably not a ridiculous shout. I think I'd probably pick Garnacho over Harvey Barnes. Ernest Endo's coming on. The game is over. Well, to be honest, we just have to kill the game. Mo Salah coming off. That's the ovation sorted. They'll give the crowd a nice reception, but Wataru Endo's going to come on, which I would assume means that... Well, he's not best pleased, is he, Mo? He's really not best pleased. Doesn't matter anyway, since Etienne have just equalised against Brest 3-3. Yeah, Mo Salah is not a happy bunny. He's not a happy bunny at all. Good, I'm glad. That's what you want. Sulking. Let's get him sulking. There you go, lots of changes there. He's just said two. He's just said two, which I can only assume means that means Endo is going to sit probably deep with Gravenberch, and Szoboszlai is going to go further forward. What the hell was that? Chelsea 2, Ipswich 2, Sancho's just come up the notification. They're slow, aren't they, Sky Sports? Free kick to West Ham. About to float this in. Come on, keep him out. I also just worry as well, by taking Salah off, we haven't really got the out ball, have we? There's not really anyone up there. Diaz doesn't do it enough. We need more of an out ball. Ball down the right hand side. Kudus. It's an on goal. Andy Robertson 1-1. Jesus Christ, Robbo. That's poor. That's really poor. All of that, and we've dropped points again. Right late in the game. Jesus, tonight. That's vile. He's onside. That's not good enough. Gerald Kwanzaa doesn't track the runner. Ball into the box, and Robbo. Who is it in front of Robertson? Who's that in front of Robertson? He might be a touch unlucky. Oh, it's fine. Yeah, it's not Robbo's fault. Van Dijk hits it onto Robertson. And look, I mean, to be fair, Van Dijk's fault, that's not Robertson. Look at him, you can see it. That's not Robertson's fault. Van Dijk's had a shocker there. Put a name on it and clear it. Or let Robertson clear it. Don't do that. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. (3-3) at Wolves. Bloody hell, that's turned around quick, hasn't it? Richarlison and then Cunha. Gravenberch. Diaz. Off the bar! Oh, God's sake. Oh, come on. How's it 4-2 Wolves? Oh, Larson and Cunha. For some reason, it showed up on thingies. Richarlison had scored and made it 3-3. But now, 4-2 Wolves. 4-2 Wolves. McAllister corner. Come on, Liverpool. Turn this round. Ball in. Van Dijk. No. So we haven't got any of them corners right today. Stood up. Hit it! Penalty! Anything! Give us something! They're on the counter-attack here. Don't lose this, for God's sake. Don't lose this. You can't lose this now. That's a foul. McAllister. Oh, another corner. I thought that was a free kick then. I thought that was a free kick to West Ham. No, that was a dive. Paqueta. It was a dive. You're not getting a free kick for that. You probably could have let that go as well, Areola. If you let that go, it just goes behind for a goal kick. McAllister with the corner. Verge. Get in there! 2-1! There he is, the captain. Have a bit of that. Oh, fucking hell. God for that. Oh, get in. Oh. It's just relief. It's not even... Oh, you absolute beast of a man. Thank God. McAllister puts the corner in. And it's a wonderful header. You can't do anything about that. He needed to do that because it was his fault. It was his fault, the equaliser. Virgil van Dijk puts Liverpool 2-1 up. 2-1 to Liverpool. That's massive. That's absolutely massive. We've got to now. We've absolutely just got to keep focused now. Got to stay focused. That's what Arne Slot was doing there. He was telling him, just stay focused. You've got to keep on it now. I don't know why they're showing Andy Robertson's face. Like, it wasn't his fault. Van Dijk smashes it onto him. How? Because it's not even Andy Robertson's fault. Been bang average today. He hasn't been great today, but he's conceded a goal, and it was a poor goal from Van Dijk to concede. That Andy Robertson own goal was all on Van Dijk. It was all on Van Dijk, and then he goes up the other end and does that, which that's just him, isn't it? He never ever concedes them sort of goals, but when he does, he nearly always puts it right. He's so good. Best defender in the world. Not even close. That's a foul, referee. That's a foul, referee. What are you doing? Yeah, empty. Clear that away. Kane can't wait for the Real Madrid win midweek. If Madrid win in midweek, football... Oh, I feel like football will have just healed. The football world will just heal if Real Madrid get that win in midweek. Right, Real Madrid... Sorry, West Ham, not Real Madrid. West Ham free kick. It's gone straight into the box. It's gone all the way through. Liverpool free kick. Chelsea and Ipswich into the last few seconds of that game. Wolves and Tottenham the same. Wolves pretty much wrapped up. I said there'd be goals in that Wolves and West Ham game. Sorry, Wolves and Tottenham game. I knew there'd be goals in that. I didn't think Chelsea would struggle so much past Ipswich, but hey, there you go. Liverpool go 13 points clear with this win. Is that 7 minutes of added time? Blimey. We're 2 minutes into them, 7 minutes of added time. Ben, I really like Endo. Every squad player needs an Endo. I think every squad does need one, but I don't think he's going to stay. I'd like him to, but there's something about... Oh, that's a foul, ref. That's a foul. This referee's a moron. Something about this whole setup with Slot. I think Liverpool, we're going to see... I think there's going to be more changes. In fact, that'll be my early prediction. I think there's going to be more changes at Liverpool than there are at Manchester United this summer. Forget the free transfers. We'll rule them out. But I think there'll be more changes to Liverpool's lineup next season than Manchester United's. That's my early call. Reese, it'll be an Arteta defensive masterclass against Madrid. An Arteta yawn masterclass. I mean, to be honest, it was boring in midweek against Real Madrid, wasn't it? It was boring in midweek until 2 free kicks out of nowhere and a Mikel Merino finish. Again, that was an awful game to watch, besides, a couple of wonder strikes. I agree, Slot doesn't rate him, which is mad. I just think he wants... Oh my God, they've hit the bar! Jesus, West Ham have hit the bar! Why can't we just see a game out normally? It's never... Oh... There's still a chance for West Ham in this game. They've just hit the bar again. Which of our midfield survives? I think the current midfield 3 survive, but I think that maybe will only be McAllister who starts regularly for Liverpool next season. Unbelievable header that. Was that Fulkrug? Was it Fulkrug with the header? Stupidly good header that. Fabulous header. Really unlucky from Nicholas Fulkrug. I think all 3 of Liverpool's midfield stays, and maybe Curtis Jones as well. And then beyond that, I think maybe Endo moves on. I think Harvey Elliott probably does move on. Yeah, I think Slot will probably say to him, look, we can't really guarantee you to stay. I'd like him to stay, but I think he probably goes. When Mourinho parks the bus, he's called the special one. When Arteta does it, he's called boring. Mourinho had multiple ways to win, mate. Mourinho was a fabulous manager. Arteta's not... Mourinho still is, by the way, a fabulous manager. Arteta's not even in the same league as him. Not even in the same league. Flicks and Mbappe red card. Really? Christ, that's not good. Thank God it doesn't carry over to the Champions League. Well, that shows that Real Madrid are fighting at least, fighting. They're still 1-0 up. Camavinga scored. And then, Mbappe's just been sent off, straight red. FM No Casuals, West Ham fans slagging off Paqueta. He's been our best player, I think. Yeah, he's done alright today, Paqueta. There's been a few West Ham players I think have done alright. I would say Kudus has been great for you. Harvey Elliott leaving is a disgrace, to be fair. He might stay, but I just expect we'll see a lot of outgoings this summer. I think Jota, I think Diaz, I think Nunes, maybe Chiesa probably does move on. I think Endo, Harvey Elliott is probably one that we'd look at shifting on as well. You go into the defence, I think Jarrell Kwanzaa, I think Joe Gomez, I think Kostas Tsimikas. All of them will have an option on their head. A lot of fans will be looking at him. Or rather, a lot of clubs will be looking at him. And I think Arne Slot's kind of probably pragmatic with him in saying, lads, I'll be straight, if your agent can find you a club, you're probably not going to play much next season. So, if your agent can find you a club and they come to us with a decent offer, we'll look at it. It'd probably be best for you to move on. And, I think that might be the right thing to do with a lot of players. Like Harvey Elliott, selfishly, I'd like to keep Harvey Elliott because I think he could be a terrific player. But you're right, I think Harvey Elliott suiting someone like Palace or Brighton. There you go, it's done. 2-1, big win. Thank God for that. It's not been easy. It's not been an easy one for Liverpool. It's been a really odd performance. And so late in the day. An Andy Robertson own goal, but it was entirely Virgil van Dijk's fault. It wasn't anything to do with Andy Robertson. It was a poor one from Virgil van Dijk, and he came up the other end of the pitch and heads in the winner. Fair play. Harvey Elliott should play for Maidenhead. Harvey Elliott's a lovely Liverpool player. He's a Liverpool fan. I'd like to keep him, but I just think for his own career he needs to go. Reece, I think Jota would suit Arsenal a lot. Jota to go to Arsenal, he'd be one of your best players. He would be. Jota needs a manager who wants him. That's it. Same with Darwin Núñez. They need managers who want him and are happy with him and will give him the chance to play regularly. And Jota, for me, if he's fit, he's one of the best centre forwards in the country. One of the best centre forwards in Europe. It'd be sad to see him go. Be really sad to see Jota go. But I expect he probably does. Right. In Europe, he is. You can't name me too many better centre forwards than Diogo Jota. Diogo Jota's different class. He's absolutely different class. He's not even top 10 in the league. All right, name me 10 better centre forwards than Diogo Jota in the league. Name me 10 better centre forwards. If you can name me 10 better centre forwards than Diogo Jota in the league, and we all agree on him, fine. But you're just not going to. It's finished. Chelsea 2, Ipswich 2. It's finished. Wolves 4, Spurs 2. Diogo Jota is great on his day, but lately, yeah, no, but again, Bill Shankly, form is temporary, class is permanent. He's not old. He's just had a bad run with injuries, and then he's been in and out of the side. He's under a new manager. We've seen in the past what Diogo Jota's capable of. He's a fabulous player, absolutely fabulous player. Callum the Red, Robertson's time is over. Why? What did Robertson do wrong? Van Dijk smashed the ball off him. Van Dijk smashed the ball off Robertson and it went in. How is it Robertson's fault? Liverpool fans are mad. I have no idea how you can say that that's Andy Robertson's fault. Virgil van Dijk hits it against his shins, it goes in. Alright, it's Andy Robertson's fault. Ben, don't see it often enough for me. I mean, he's already scored. Big goal. I mean, the Merseyside derby the other week scores the winner for us. Out of nothing. I would have no problem at all keeping Diogo Jota. I just think, again, he's probably better suited for his own career to go, and we could get 50 or 60 million for him. I think there's a market for Diogo Jota now in Europe. He's fit. He plays regularly. Isaac, Haaland, Mateta, Jackson. Right, we're already stopping there. We're stopping there. Nicholas Jackson, Evan Nilsson. You've named Jackson twice. You can't get away with that. You've named Jackson twice. Muniz, Evan Nilsson, Wood, Pedro. You're reaching now. Carl and Robbo ran into the tackle. Van Dijk would have cleared wide. Van Dijk, I mean, look, to be fair, Robbo turned round and screamed at Van Dijk, and Van Dijk knew. You could see it on his face. It was Van Dijk's fault, that. As a centre-back, you've got to put your name on it. And if you put your name on it, belt it away. He smashed it against Andy Robertson. Ben, I'd keep him. I like him. I just want him to recapture his form. I think he needs starts then. But I think he's just the best of the centre-forwards we have at the minute. Jackson is so clear. Nicholas Jackson. In what world is Nicholas Jackson anywhere close to Diogo Jota? Ignore that Jackson double. Jota's easily at the end of that list. Baffling. These people watch football. Well, I'll tell you what. If you were the head scout for Manchester United, I'd dread to think the strikers you're going to serve up for Ruben Amorim. If you think Nicholas Jackson is better than Diogo Jota. Right, well look, Liverpool have won. Liverpool go 13 points clear. It wasn't easy by any stretch, was it? It wasn't easy. It was a really, really gritty performance. It needed to be in the end. Van Dijk, a big error. West Ham equalise late on in the game, and he goes straight up the other end and smashes in the winner. What a guy, what a player, what a beast. Best centre-back in the world, and Liverpool are this close to the Premier League title. Have a little bit of that. Right, I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to sort the United stream, the Newcastle and United stream. I'll be back in about 15 minutes, 4:15. Come and join me. I'll be there for Newcastle against Manchester United. If you're sticking around for that, come and join us, get back in the chat, and I'll see you then. Take it easy. I'll be back in 10 minutes' time.